Welcome to Sebring, Florida, for a live chat on Facebook with Tom Plasinski here. I have Bill Auberland and Joey Hand beside me, and we're going to take you through a few of the inside look behind what happens in the pit. As you just heard, this is a live paddock. We're getting Joey's car ready over here. And Joey, what do you think? You ready?
I'm way ready. I was ready when I got here last Sunday. This is it's been a good week. We've had no real issues. The cars are going well, and they look great as well. So I'm ready to get in and get after it.
Bill?
We've been here so many days already since January 1st, testing, 12-hour simulations already. It's a new car. It's a lot of new stuff underneath. And you have your little teething problems,
right?
And BMW works their way through them, re-engineers them. We come out again, does it again, we come out again. And now this week's been really pretty close to spot on.
Good.
Got my fingers crossed, and let's hope.
You're not at the top of the numbers though yet.
Yeah,
not yet.
I mean, earlier in the week we were on the top,
okay.
And now we're trying different stuff. We had a very good setup, and now we're sort of migrating in different directions.
And I guess an endurance race is a little different than a sprint race, right? Absolute speed and qualifying is not the key.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing about this race, you want to balance. You got to balance different tires over different temperatures and different conditions. You're going to start in the morning, you're going to end in the dark. It looks like it's going to be sun the whole time, no rain or anything like that. But I think for us, we're always trying to make it go the distance on each stint.
Right.
And so this is a.
Okay. We should explain what a stint is for our viewers. Some people won't know.
Well, a stint would be for us is basically around an hour. That's basically a fuel load, how long each driver, fuel load, tire set will go.
So it's your time in the car, right?
My time in the car, Bill's time in the car.
Right.
That's how it goes down, by the way.
Office time. Yeah.
Office time. That's right.
That means it's time to go.
We have a number of questions that have come in, and actually I think we should probably go into one of them. It is, how do you guys stay sharp in the off season? Do you sit home in front of the TV drinking beer? No, probably not, right?
Yeah, I mean for me, I do a lot of karting. I try and do some karting, but I stay at the gym. But I really feel like driving is a key thing. So karting when we're not testing, like Bill said, we've been here testing since January. We were testing in December even, and then Bill and I both ran the 24 Hours of Daytona also. So that also keeps us going.
I think you did pretty well.
Yeah, I was able to. I got my first overall win at the Rolex 24, and I'm just trying to keep up with Bill.
It was amazing. Don't even say that. I mean,
Bill's got all these statistics that I'm trying to keep up with.
2 races in a day in 2 different cars.
Yeah. Well, he started Daytona. He showed us the way in Daytona, and we were so proud of him. I mean, the guy, we know he's a rocket ship.
Yeah, you had
We've
that
seen
penalty, and you came back from way behind.
And all you had to do is put him in a DP car and let him go, and he wins the race.
Right.
But then we went to Homestead. So I started in Dubai already earlier in the year. That was a 24-hour race. Then we did the 24 Hours of Daytona. Then we went to Homestead and we ran the Rolex race and the GS race. And I'm just trying to keep up with Joey. I wound up winning both of those. It was
Bill
good.
Won both of those. So I mean, between him and I, we've got racing's a lot about momentum.
Yeah.
And Bill and I both have definitely brought some momentum in winning in other cars, and it just works. I mean, I feel better. I know Bill feels better when you get the first win of the year, because we're always trying. You never want to go throughout a year without a win. And so we kind of got that monkey off our back, and now we can just go set sail here.
Good. One of the questions that always comes up is, how fast is the car, and are you married? So
I'll let Bill go first.
I'm married to that car, and it's fast. Yeah, I'm married, definitely. And the car this year, it's a constant evolution. It's better, better, better. I didn't think they could make it much better last year. And when I thought they were just going to do small changes, they did a lot of big changes. And it came back, and I sat in the car the first time, and I thought, this thing is fantastic.
Well, this car runs under different rules now, right? So this is the same basic car that we run in the European series.
Yeah, it's the same across the board. I am married, by the way. I have 2 kids, and no, it's now the same across the board. Everywhere the cars run in Europe, they run here. The suspension, the body kits, everything's the same. And so now we can work kind of more together in developing the car all as one.
So Steve T asked a question. These are 2 completely new cars from what we've heard. What are the primary differences with last year's car? And will we see the same cars running at ALMS as well as the 24 Hours of Nürburgring and at Le Mans?
Yes, yes, you will.
Essentially, they
you
are
will
the same, right?
They
They're-
will all be the same.
Team
Down-
RLL will not be running at Le
Down
Mans
to the number,
Nürburgring.
they're going to be the same.
Down-
They're going to be
Exactly.
55
Yeah.
and
And
56.
some of the
55,
drivers are
56.
the same.
I mean, there's a few. Yeah, some of the drivers the same. You'll see that. I mean, there's a little bit differences in the body shape on the front fender, and you can see on the rear. We have a
Exactly. Well,
couple.
actually, why don't we do that? Why don't we take our fans here to have a look at some of the aero changes that we have.
Well,
Again, you start at the back.
Yeah, I mean, you can see we have 2 extra dive planes in the back. The splitter's slightly different. Moving towards the front, we also have a slightly, per the rules, we have a bigger wicker on
Revised-
the back.
well, and a revised rear wing
revised
shape.
rear wing. So that's the one thing. Moving to the front, Bill can explain the front the best.
Well, we have different shaped fenders for the drag. We have a different, well, we don't want to talk too much, but the under trays maybe slightly revised. And then we have a revised rear suspension.
And one thing to keep in mind is that a race car, you have a certain amount of performance that you can have, but then the aero in the car, around the car, underneath the car is very important. So if the camera comes on in a bit, we can see here the radiators in the front of the car, but we have these huge exits for the radiators, so that hot air flows over the car.
Right.
We manage the air underneath, we manage air to the brakes, to the air conditioning system in the car.
The big thing is about all these changes is really about the balance. You know, we're always trying to balance the car out, from the aero to the mechanical, and what all these little adjustments do is just make the car easier for us to drive through the corner, and easier meaning more balanced, less understeer or less loose, more neutral, more basically just better through the corners. And with BMWs, you know, we know our strong point is in the corners. I always say from when we get onto the brakes, rolling through the center of the corner is really where we like to make our time.
Okay. Any pre-race superstitions?
Not for me. I don't. For me, I just like to have a good time. I like to stay relaxed, and I like to talk with my guys. You probably saw us doing. Bill and I have a good time together. We've become very good friends in the past
But you
5
don't
or 6
drive
years.
together.
We don't drive together
No, you're
anymore,
not.
but
You're competing on the
separated us,
track.
you see?
they separate us because we
We're
have
having
too good a time.
Too good a time.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as superstitions, if I see a penny, it's face up, it's coming with me.
Oh, okay, there you go.
If those socks were fast, that's the one I'm using.
Are you wearing the fast socks today? You saved them
Well,
for Saturday, right?
they're probably going to get changed out because this morning.
Some of that stuff's rubbed off on me a little bit.
And, you know, if that bathroom stall that I used was quick, I'm going back in it. And then that way, when I have a
don't
bad
wanna
day,
know.
I can start undoing the badness.
Eliminate
It goes
things.
away.
Yeah.
See?
I
Now-
try and keep learning from Bill. He's won a lot of
Actually,
races.
Jonathan B had a question about how many laps you do in a single stint. Can you explain a little bit how that works?
Well, we kind of went over it. It's more about, you know, how much time we're going to run. We're going to do right around an hour, give or take. It totally
Basically, fuel stop, right?
fuel stop to fuel stop. We're going to change drivers every time. So every time the car stops, it's going to get driver change, fuel full, and a new set of tires.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is that if the race goes yellow, it means there's an accident or there's debris on the track, then the strategy can change. You may come in early, or you may try to stay out a little bit longer, but probably come in early, I would imagine.
That all depends on
That
where
all
you're at in your
depends.
stint.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you what, we've kept this kind of quiet, but how long you can go in your stint is critical, right? We lost this race last year because we were 1 lap shy in every stint. That Ferrari could outdo us by 1 lap, and it had put us in a kind of an open, where the overall leader exposed position where we could lose a lap. And sure enough, during one of those times when we were in the pits, we lost a lap. And we never made it up. We had the fastest cars in the race, never made it up.
No issues.
We've worked very hard now to get the mileage as good as we can with the speed, and nobody knows who's going to do how many laps. And
Right.
the first time when it goes green,
Yeah, exactly. This is the first race of the season,
Yeah.
so everyone is a bit of an unknown
And
now.
I mean-
We have a new car. Ferrari has a new car. I mean, pretty well everyone has something new they've been working on all winter.
and I love when you say it goes about an hour, and that's what we're going to let people know.
Right.
We know to the second
Yeah, of
on
course
what
you do,
setting where it's going to go to. And
It's about an hour.
it's about an hour.
Okay.
Trust
Now-
me, nothing around this tent right here with these Rahal guys or these BMW guys, nothing is about.
No,
it's
no,
very,
it's
very
very
precise. just so
precise,
you know.
exactly.
They know in there.
Now, your average speed around the track. Do you know what it is?
It's about 100 miles an
It's
hour.
about 100 miles an hour.
So on average, about 100
Yeah,
miles
I
an
mean,
hour.
it changes like Bill said before, it changes track to track, you know, but at this track, we're right about 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
We have a corner that we run through at 115 miles an hour, and then we have a corner that we're going through at 40 miles an hour,
So that's
and
a
everything
full
in
range.
between, you know,
Just
so.
makes an average.
Yeah.